Hi, everyone. Welcome. Gonna give it just a couple of minutes and let folks log in, and we'll get started for our live family workshop tonight. Happy Thursday. Hello. Welcome, welcome. Happy Thursday. It is Thursday. It is the day before Friday. Welcome. Tonight, we are going to go over why are you reading this, which is our reading tip this week. This workshop focuses on engagement and understanding the story or the text that you're reading, and we're going to learn about helping your child set a purpose for reading nonfiction books or text. And we will make predictions about the kind of information that they will read, and set some interesting engagement for that. Hello, hello. I see some more folks logging in. Great. As we're waiting for some folks to log in, I would love to know, where is everyone logging in from? Go ahead and drop in the chat um, where you're logging in from. I see we have someone logging in from New Jersey. Awesome. And California. Great. I hope that the California folks are having some nice warm-ish weather. I am also on the East Coast, and it is snowing here. So we're nice and cold, and we're, of course, thinking of our friends and colleagues in the Texas region who are also dealing with the cold. Um, I am going to introduce myself. My name is Stephanie Taranto. I am a program director with Springboard Collaborative, and I work with schools and districts all across the country to help implement our Springboard programming. A little bit about Springboard. Springboard is a literacy nonprofit that helps educators and families become at-home reading coaches. And one of the ways that we do this is by hosting family workshops, just like this one here. In our workshops, we help teachers, family members, and students focus on a reading tip and then practice that reading together. So we'll get started with our reading tip this week, which is, why are you reading this? So as I said before, why are you reading this really focuses for when you are reading nonfiction text. And sometimes when students are reading a nonfiction text, they might not be as interested in it at the beginning as they are maybe a fiction text or something that they've picked out themselves that might have a little bit of a higher engagement. And by asking questions and activating their thinking before they start reading, you having them be motivated to read that nonfiction book or that nonfiction text. A nonfiction book or text is maybe an informational text, like a newspaper article or a website. And one way to get motivated is to think about our purpose. We don't always read books because we have to, right? We read books because they can help us learn new ideas and gather new information. So we'll spend a little bit of time talking about that today. And then we'll think about how we can make some predictions or some guesses as to what we might read. And then finally, we'll revisit the reason that we read the book and think about those new questions that we have. And we do this that because in order for a child to grow as a reader, they must read more and for longer periods of time. And that absolutely requires motivation and sustained interest. And if you can help your child to think about their purpose for reading, they may be able to stay more motivated. At-home reading coaches are always asking questions. And at Springboard, that is the most important thing we want you to leave with is to always ask questions. Asking your child questions before, during, and after reading is an easy way to coach them to improve their reading. And today, when we think about why are you reading this, we're going to be thinking about questions that we ask before the reading begins. And so we're giving you that strategy that's going to help your reader to engage with the book and also with what they are reading. So for my example today, I picked an article called "Why is Snow White?" As I said earlier, it is snowing where I am, so I thought this was a very on-topic conversation or article. And some questions that I might ask if I had one of my nieces and nephews here with me and we were reading this text together is saying, like, why are we reading this? And something that you might want to think about is that if your child is reading an assignment that was given to them by a teacher or something that they have as part of their homework, they might not be able to explain exactly why they're reading it, but you can still help them think about what they might get from the article or from the book. I also might ask questions like, what information do we hope to get from this text? Or what questions might this text answer? So I'm looking at this article and I see why is snow white? And I'm seeing some words in here about like light and how light behaves. So I'm thinking that I'm going to learn more about like the makeup of snow, maybe what a snowflake is made out of or why it comes down the way that it does. I also might be making some predictions about what I'll learn in this article as well. I might be asking, what would we learn from this about snow, right? We might also be thinking about some words that we might encounter as I read this text. So I'm thinking I'm probably going to encounter words like weather or precipitation, which is one that I might want to preview or point out to my niece or nephew or your child before you start reading. And I also might want to ask them, what do they already know about this topic? What might they already know about snow? What might they already know about weather? And how can we add? What could we learn from here that might add to what we know about this as well? And then once we are done reading and we've made our predictions and we've read the article together, or independently, I might then ask some questions to revisit that reasoning at the end. We might say, why did we learn what, or what did we learn? And then did we learn what we set out to learn? Did we learn something different than we expected? Did we get the information we were hoping for? Or did we learn any new questions that came up? So if I'm looking at this article, I can see that the way that the light strikes the surface of the snow when it falls is what makes it look white. But that water is actually clear, which we know, and does not have color. Even ice cubes we can see through, but yet when snow is compacted, it is white. And even here in this second page, I've learned that icebergs And glaciers that have snow on them, that snow can sometimes appear blue. And that was something I didn't know before I read this article. So I might even be able to share. I learned that actually snow is not always white. Sometimes snow can appear to be different colors as well. So by engaging your child in asking and thinking about the kinds of things that they might learn from a nonfiction text, or asking them why they're reading this and what their purpose for reading it is, you'll be able to engage them in the topic. So remember, you're going to think about the reasons to read a text. You'll make predictions about what you'll learn, and then revisit those reasons at the end, and that will help you during your at-home practice time. Some other questions that you might ask your child or whomever you're supporting with their literacy at home, um, before you read a nonfiction book or a nonfiction text, you might ask, what are some words we might read, or what might we come across? What will you learn more about from this book or from this text, or what information do you hope to get? Afterwards, you might ask them, what new questions do you have? And if your child is interested in a topic, that might even spark more interest to log into the internet or log into the library and seek out some additional resources about that topic. And you might have discovered something even brand new. Could also make it a game, an interaction, right? We always want it to be fun and engaging when we're reading. So a game you might even be able to play is called This Makes Me Think Of, and it's a word association game. So for example, if you were to read a text about crocodiles, you might start by saying the word swamp, because that is a word that you associate with crocodiles. And now it would be your child's turn, and they might say snake, because swamp made them think of snakes. And then you might say rattle because of rattlesnakes. And then your child might say baby because babies use rattles. And you keep going and going back and forth, back and forth. And after a minute, you can look back at how far you've wandered from the original word. And then you might even ask your child, do you think that you'll read about babies in this book about crocodiles? And refocus back into that attention. And it becomes a fun and engaging dialogue to have before you read. So you're going to be practicing by asking questions before your child reads a nonfiction text, by asking them why they're reading this. Think about the reasons that they're reading the text, and think about even more beyond the I have to, right? Before, even if it's an assignment from school, or if it's a homework assignment or some part of their requirements for school, you might even, answer some questions about why they think they might be learning it in school. You'll make predictions about what they learn. You'll list off some of the things that your child might learn, or some of the things that they already know or hope to learn more about. And then you'll revisit the reasons at the end, and think, what did we learn? And did we learn what we thought we were going to? And were there any new questions that you had now? If there are any questions about this strategy, please feel free to drop them in the chat so that I can answer them. If you are interested in more chat or more family workshops, we will continue to post family workshops and additional reading tips for the next few weeks. We're doing another workshop at this same time next Thursday at 6 o'clock, where we'll be sharing another reading tip called I'll Coach You Through This Word. And I'm excited to share that with you as well. You can also follow us on Facebook, which you probably already do if you're watching this video, but we also have an Instagram page, and we also use Twitter. So follow us on all of our platforms to get all of the resources and updates that Springboard shares along the way. And my colleague Ureni will also be hosting this same workshop, this same reading tip, Why Are You Reading This? At 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, and she will be hosting this workshop in Spanish. So if you know a Spanish-speaking family who would benefit from this strategy, please share this resource with them as well. We look forward to always sharing these resources with you. We enjoy sharing our strategies and our reading tips to help our families and help spread the word about becoming a stronger at-home reading coach for your child, for your friends and family, for whomever the reader is that you are supporting in your life. And I would love to answer any questions or share any more feedback around our why are you reading this reading tip this evening. I'm going to click over to my chat. It seems like folks really enjoyed the tip, and I just want to urge you again to ask those questions before, during, and after reading, and really try to engage your child in what they're going to learn, especially when reading nonfiction and informational text. We thank you so much for logging in tonight and hope that you will review any of our other Facebook Live videos, and we'll see you back here at 6 p.m. next Thursday for I'll Coach You Through This Word. Thanks for logging in.